Lastly, on the LGBT issues, I mean, if you get a nod, how far would you hope to push it? The president, your candidate, when he was interviewed on the BBC, he said he would now look into what is in that bill.
You know, that's a misconception that's been put out. And I listened to that full BBC interview. President Mahama has been clear that he will sign that bill, and he has no option than to sign that bill. President Mahama will know no peace from St. George until he signs that bill. And he himself has said that to the clergy, that as a Christian, as a member of the Assemblies of God Church, he will sign that bill.
And then sometimes as a speaker, leaders, when I see leaders in front shouting, that's not for leaders to do. If you are a good leader, you must have those who do that for you. I saw them a while talk about LGBTQ and the Honorable Habib. Interesting times in Ghana. You were in Ghana. Parliament passed the law. Nana Addo Dankwa was in breach of the constitution. You didn't have the voice. He didn't read Article 106, 106.7.8. Read it.
Minia, mamena wasi, na mima wakwaba. Agenda TV Ghana. Mesro, sene ye dedi kenya uhemia. Obe subscribe to this channel. Na walike video hizo. Edi amame. Na boma bibibiala aye kama. Siye ina yebeka ya Thursday. Ena parliamentarians of this country. Omo eko sitting. Na omo ko sitting on. Asemba akun ekuku PMU ewo ho. The issue about the LGBTQ plus tamana na nado danko kufuado owo aban mu no na parliament de afa especially those in NDC. Honorable Sam George ono na always spearhead that agenda. Say na nado danko akufuado on sign na sa bill no emeye emra ewo Ghana memu ha na se obi ene bema ekokoda ana say bema ne bema ekokoda oba ne oba nso ekokoda saa nkrofo no yetumi atwe wo maso ewo Ghana memu ha enti beye edeja ewo Ghana memu ha manipa bebre ekasa edifa ho na nado danko kufo adobo entie de na NDC fo eka no enti wansane that bill no ama meye emra enti na edaso edaho enti na nkrofo binom enim say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama so nya kwan eba aban mu a ono no de sani one some of the NDC members no omo ekaye no omo ebesane na chese ababe yemra ewo Ghana memu ha na omo ba aban mu no asensem omo eka no aye different thing eno na Honorable Afenyo Markin Thursday o raise that issue na omo eka say tamona NDC omo wo opposition no na they were forcing another dan kokufuado say obesane that bill no na anado wa anyesa enti NDC tamona omo opposition na omo eyedede no sisi ya no omo ewo majority in parliament. It's whatever they want to do with that bill, they can do. It's almost pushi. Say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on Sunday that bill na emeye emra ewo Ghana memu ha sene be ya oba ene oba into me ena na bema ene bema nso into me ena mo nyina kra eka ho enti na wotwe we ababe edeja ewo Ghana memu ha ye be kwa kutie na se ye be kwa kwa video bi emra na Hon.Haruna Iddrissu o kan sembi edi afa saa asem ya meke ehun na ansa na yebeko Hon.Haruna Iddrissu na asem na woka no Ghana fo binum kan say he is an experienced person in Ghana Parliament because utie ne nsem na woka na nkrofo bi say he is schooling Honorable Afenyo Markin. It dey be asem pa na Hon.Haruna Iddrissu waka yebeko kwa video no na yebedikan so ahwe Honorable Afenyo Markin na asem a okan ye na ansa na yebeko sa videos minu no so no yebeti Honorable Sam George the before and after videos bia why ewo internet no eso tam wana omo opposition no ede be asem na Sam George okan ye honorable ede be asem na Sam George okan nti ye hwe Sam George video no na be bia me de Kwamna Markins de no so ebeto so ansa na yeti Hon.Haruna Iddrissu video no na ansa na ye be hwe video no menu ya besa unya subscribe ya subscribe to Agenda TV Ghana na boa amebibiyara aye kama ye hwe video no ewia adwenkyere biala owo no comment section ho na kire wadwen like video we so fama me na boa bibiara aye kama afi ye hwe video so no emra ye koba ye beto so e de afi meda wase.
Lastly, on the LGBT issues, I mean, if you get a nod, how far would you hope to push it? The president, your candidate, when he was interviewed on the BBC, he said he would now look into what is in that bill.
You know, that's a misconception that's been put out. And I listened to that full BBC interview. President Mahama has been clear that he will sign that bill, and he has no option than to sign that bill. President Mahama will know no peace from St. George until he signs that bill. And he himself has said that to the clergy, that as a Christian, as a member of the Assemblies of God Church, he will sign that bill. What the president said to the BBC was in response to why President Akufo-Addo has not signed the bill. And he said to them, look, what you, President Akufo-Addo, should have done, instead of rejecting service of the bill, was to have received the bill, stated what his displeasure is with the bill, which is what the Constitution says. The Constitution in Article 1067, President Mahama, in his response to the BBC, was referring to the Constitution of Ghana. Article 1067 says that when he gets to the president, he must, within 14 days, indicate whether he would sign or not sign. If he chooses not to sign, he then has to bring it back to Parliament and then state in the memo to Parliament the reasons why he's refusing to sign and add the recommendations to remedy those challenges he sees. Otherwise, within the 14 days, he can refer it within 30 days. He can refer it to the Council of State, who have 30 days to give him advice. That's what President Mahama was saying in that BBC interview. He was not saying that he now has to read the bill. President Mahama has read the bill. It's because he's read the bill that he told the clergy that when he becomes president, he will sign the bill, because President Mahama has no problem with anything in the bill. That explanation he was given was basically what the president should have done as a lawyer in line with our constitution, because the president's decision not to have service of the bill on him is unconstitutional and shows you how reckless and irresponsible Akufo-Addo is as a president.
A few moments later.
Jata. Yes, sir. Some keys. Aye. How we? Nyamiado. Charlie, Biaboko. Hey, now we are with the camera. See me.
Demanding for the Lgbtq bill not to be passed. I know some came
After when I look at majority leader, it's not easy. It's not easy. Because what I'm trying to tell them is that, you see, when they were in opposition, they forced this bill on us. Even when it was in court, they said the bill must be signed into law. We heard President Mahama, His Excellency. He said, oh, the bill, he's seen it, but he's referring it to the Attorney General. That was January. Let me refresh it. Our memory. Mr. Speaker, I was the leader of government business. I brought an amendment. My amendments were rejected. Mr. Speaker, the bill was suffocating government at the time. We were in difficult situations. We pleaded with our colleagues that please, let's manage this situation. They said no. Today, you are in government. You realize that you don't need LGBT. You see, this is like a scorpion sitting on a shibboleth. That scorpion, you place it on that shibboleth. That scorpion, that LGBT scorpion, you place it on that shibboleth. Whether you like it or not, you like it. Majority leader, you stay away from this matter. You've had your bite. Mr. Speaker, it's okay. Leader, you say Mr. Speaker is not around. You say the clerk to Parliament is not around. I would oblige you. Now, Sasa some prior 1,000 years Mr. Speaker will come next week.
But you are offending our rules.
Mr. Speaker, I'm explaining.
Whatever you say,
I will translate.
You have to translate.
Mr. Speaker, even if we give them 1,000 years will come.
Very well.
So, leader of government, it's okay. It's okay. What do you want to say again? You want to do your variation of order. You want to vary. You supported, you were in the middle bank. You were the chief legal advisor. You supported it. Now you are running away. Mr. Speaker, it's okay. It's okay. Mr. Speaker will come next week. Reverend, Definitely next week will come. God will give us life. Whether you like it or not, that bill, you pass it.
And Mr. Speaker, to remind us that all of us entered this house as backbenchers. On your day of entry is your day you are emerging having been elected as member of parliament. Mr. Speaker, parliamentary practice, we are told throughout the world, is based on experience. That is why it's my wish that every backbencher will have an opportunity to rise through the ranks, through the middle bench, even to become the front bench and to lead. But they can only lead if we give them an opportunity to learn. But Mr. Speaker, they themselves must be ready to learn. And when we say they must be ready to learn, in particular for Ghana, two important things. Is the member of parliament familiar with the provisions of the 1992 Constitution? Yes, he must. If for nothing, from Article 106 to 124, every member of parliament must keep a memory of it. If he is the kind of member like the Honorable Abu Jinapo, then he can add the chapters on fundamental human rights and freedoms, because Parliament is the guardian of those rights and freedoms. You can add it to 106 so that you learn the section that deals with. Because in a country where there is rule of law, the most fundamental thing would be, so that's why this house at all times, when the right and freedom of any person is infringed upon, we must be worried and concerned, because that is the gravest threat to the practice of democracy. But Mr. Speaker, in discussing Backbenchers Day, I'm happy your clerks at table are here. This house, we must improve upon our own practice. I recall, Mr. Speaker, your good self, you were in the meeting. Even in Akusumbo, when we went through the long period from, I should pay respect to the Honorable Papo Owusu Ankuma, Yilechre, and the rest, when they said that Parliament must change its standing orders. I recall, Mr. Speaker, in one of the meetings where you were, I contested, but I was defeated. Today, I'm honored. I kept telling them to declare a minority day in the standing orders of this house, and that day must be solely reserved as a minority day, because, Mr. Speaker, the best way to enrich democracy is to have the views of the other side, the opposite side of the aisle. I recall, in fact, Mr. Speaker, I had traveled with one of you to the L'Assemblée Nationale, the French National Assembly, and another assembly in Sri Lanka and India with the Honorable Osechi Mensah. And I even carried a book to this Parliamentary Review Committee. There was a book written by one of the authorities on rules and procedure. And I drew Parliament's attention that declare a minority day, a day the minority can move a motion. And Mr. Speaker, you recall, I came here with you after we left school. You remember the same year. You remember my popular Edumdumadum Bejai. It was a motion. Bejai. You were here with the Honorable Kandapa and co, with the Hackman and co. So Backbenchers Day, Mr. Speaker, we need to have a dedicated time for the political opposition. Constructive alternatives, not just commentary. Not just commentary. And Mr. Speaker, I've said it repeatedly. The day the Parliament of Ghana will sit right, the Ghanaian people will smile. Because a lot of the wrongs in this country is because Parliament sits and allows it. Why are we having problem with debt? Forgive me, Mr. Speaker. I heard President Nana Addo Dankwa in Brussels lamenting about excessive borrowing and what debt exchange has done to him. The darkest hour. How did the dark hour happen? Because the Parliament of Ghana failed to limit him and to remind him that yes, you have the powers, but don't borrow excessively. You may disagree. I know you are his special aide. I know that. I know you are his special aide. But Mr. Speaker, I wholeheartedly support that we give backbenchers an opportunity. Then finally, Mr. Speaker, my comment, which you personally have been concerned. When they bring reports to this chamber, how many backbenchers or even frontbenchers want to read the report? Please, when they bring reports, do we go through the report in order to understand what is in the report? So backbenchers must be ready to learn. And to learn is easy. Master the standing orders. And then sometimes, Mr. Speaker, leaders. When I see leaders in front shouting, that's not for leaders to do. If you are a good leader, you must have those who do that for you. I saw them a while talk about LGBTQ and the Honorable Habib. Interesting times in Ghana. You were in Ghana. Parliament passed the law. Nana Addo Dankwa was in breach of the Constitution. You didn't have the voice. He didn't read Article 106, 106.7a. Read it. He was in breach. If Parliament gives a bill to the President and he can assent or not assent, the Constitution provides what he should do. Did you do that? Then you allow it to lapse. Then today we are discussing the same matter. I heard the leader talk about there was no administrative error, but there was a constitutional error. The Constitution is elaborate. What do you do? It's not to say that President Akufo-Addo can't disagree with Parliament. But if he disagrees, convey it back to Parliament that I disagree with you and this is my reasoning. I will not do it because of this reason. We should pass it. Or I simply would have ended by saying, why didn't you pass it? But it will be passed. Thank you.
Yes, yakwako hwe videos no aba na me de se nsem bim se me tie na se me hwe a na eyebribi na me sua e de afrim o say politicians no when never they are in opposition omo nsem o beka no e different omo ba ban mu so omo nsem a omo beka no e different ohun onabo kwa amna Afenyo Markin sisi ya no omo anya hoden a omo kasa se His Excellency John Dramani Mahama onsane da bill na emeye mbra but time wana omo opposition no de be nsem na omo eka e de akere na Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo omo pushiye se na Nana onsan ya na but ne obo opposition e na kasa se His Excellency already onsan saa nso na Honorable Sam George ne Hon.Haruna Iddrissu mo time wana omo opposition na omo nso ye dedebi se na Nana ba all means e wo se wotumi esane ansa na 2024 aba no kura yetumi ato enu nti emagana fo binum kura eto aba edima NDC because no omo nim say NDC enya kwan ba omo ebesane da be ono na ba beye emra e wo Ghana memwa but ene ede ba asem na NDC for so omo eka menua the comment section is there for you kire wadwen na me so me kire madwen na bibiara enye kama me de wo besi ha na ansa na ye be kono unya subscribe here to this channel besrew se wode ebeka ho be subscribe at na wo ho no obeklik so na wa like video we so na wa share na afoforo so enye bi ahwe mesrew se wo behwe nso yi me ne wo ebe share bim sisi e de macro bye bye.